YouTube! Hey everyone, so I'd like to talk a little bit about my San Francisco 49ers. I have not made a video about them in some time, so mostly that's because last year they had just such a miserable season, at least until Singletary took over, that I just didn't really feel like making any videos. I'm not really the type to constantly make videos of the same thing every week. They were losing really badly, and you know, what's the point, really? I just was hoping for a better season this year. And, well, I would have to say so far I am really, really encouraged by the signs that I am seeing out of San Francisco. You got Mike Singletary, you've got a defense that appears to be ready for anything. You allow 16 points to the defending NFC champions, who supposedly have this great offense, which, you know, they did last year, but they didn't really look like it at all against the 49ers. Now, the Niners were not at all breaking any land speed records on offense themselves, but they managed to win the game. And when it really counted, Shaun Hill actually got it done. He only had about 209 yards, but he did have a touchdown. He had no interceptions. Now, remember, this is the kind of team, the 49ers, that Mike Singletary wants to build around, kind of like the Baltimore Ravens sort of philosophy of the early 2000s. Win the game with your defense and make sure your quarterback doesn't lose the game for you. So you can kind of use Trent Dilfer as kind of the mold for Shaun Hill. I think that's kind of where Mike Singletary's taken him. And I realize it's kind of a slam on Shaun Hill, and it's really not. I mean, the guy I think is doing the best he can, and he's doing a very, very good job at not losing games. And that's really just as important for that kind of team as anything else. So I'm very, very encouraged by what I see, and we've got a game against the Seahawks tomorrow, and that is going to be a huge test, because if they can beat the Cardinals and the Seahawks 2 weeks in a row, and we know the Rams aren't going to contend for the division, then hey, the sky's the limit. You could go to the playoffs in that division very easily as the division winner at about 9-7. Hey, look what the Cardinals did last year, 9-7, won the division. So we'll see what happens, and I am very much looking forward to seeing where this goes. And, oh yeah, my fantasy football teams, I have 3 of them. They are all on NFL.com. One of them is a winners league, because I played 3 teams last year, and out of a 12-team league, my teams came in 1st, 3rd, and 5th. So one of them's in a winners league this year, and then the other 2 are in regular leagues. Now, unlike last year, you can't really change your draft order that much in terms of what you pick when, if you're not doing a live draft. So since I do all automated drafts, I really wasn't able to my teams aren't going to be that great, because they kind of leveled the playing field and made it so that the tweaking that you can do early on before the draft isn't really going to help you that much. So it's whatever. It's more random this year, but it's okay. I'll still do the best I can. So far, I'm 1-2, so we'll see how that works out. But at least the 1 is in my winners league, so we'll find out. Ah, yes, and let's not forget our friend Michael Crabtree. Yes, I had such high hopes for him when we picked him with the 10th pick, and I thought, wow, we finally have, you know, a top-rate wide receiver. Ever since we got rid of Terrell Owens, we really have had nobody. We have Isaac Bruce, and he's very good, but he's certainly in the latter stages, the very, very latter stages of his career. He maybe has 1 or 2 more productive years yet left, I would say. So I really wanted them to sign him, but on the other hand, you know, you try to sign a guy that has not played a snap in the NFL. You offer him $20 million guaranteed, or whatever the final number was, and the guy just turns his nose up at it and says, "Oh, that's terrible," and thinks that he's as good as the number 7 pick, and wants to get that kind of money. I think he needs to be sent a message also that, hey, you don't just come into the league with that kind of swagger that you think you can just come in and demand whatever you want. I mean, okay, sure, you can demand it, but then if you don't get it, then going into the draft next season, what I hope happens is, if that does happen, if he goes into the draft next season, I hope he doesn't get picked till like 20th. And then he'll not only have lost a ton of money on his first contract, but he'll have lost the complete season's worth of money that he could have gotten this year for the 49ers for that 10th slotted pick, which would have been excellent money. So Michael Crabtree, I have no idea what he's thinking, but it sounds to me like one of those people that is talented but has already got a big head about him. So do we really want that kind of guy on the team or not? Maybe we don't. I don't know. So anyway, I'm very much looking forward to this season of football, both fantasy and real. So let's see what happens. Go Niners. Sing for your catnip. Yeah? You want catnip?